All right, everyone, welcome to the video. So today I'm going to be installing a couple of kicker speakers to my stock 2024 Kia Forte LXS. Right here I got the 300 watt max kickers, which comes in a 2-pack for about $74. I actually got 2 boxes, which would come with 4 speakers here. As you see there, the speakers I have. So basically it comes with 3 significant parts. It comes with the speaker, a sort of mesh cover for it, and then the bracket if you need the bracket. So right here you got the little mesh cover, which comes with 4 screws. All right, so first you're gonna find a little tiny tab inside the door handle, which just has the Phillips screwdriver on it here. So you just pop that open. You see there. So you go ahead and take that out. All right, any day now, Phil, any day. All right, so here you go. So it's just a little screw here. Put that aside. All right, next there is a little piece of plastic you just kind of pop off, which is by the mirror here. No screws or anything, you just kind of pop it off with your pry tool. As you can see, I'm really good at it. So you just pop that right off. Comes with a couple clips inside here. One main metal clip and a couple plastic little feet clip. Next, you're going to want to take the panel off. So if you see, there's a little spot here where you can actually insert your pry tool. So you go ahead and kind of work from that area and sort of work your way around. Don't be afraid you're not going to probably break those clips, although I did break 2 clips in this whole process, which were a different color than the other clips. So I think that maybe someone had broken them, the previous owner maybe, or somewhere in a dealership might have popped them off, but you can get those really cheap and just put in new ones. So once you get the clips all around out, there is one little in the middle that you kind of just pull off, and then you'll go ahead and kind of pull up on it. Don't pull up too hard, because there is a couple things you're going to need to disassemble once you get that panel kind of off. Just go ahead and lift it up here. All right, so once you get that panel off, you'll see there is 3 different things you need to attach here. That is for your windows, and I think your rear windows controls. So you go ahead and you just pull those off there. And there's 2 little clips on the bottom, little white clips. You just pop those off. They come off pretty easy. So there's the first one there. Then you have your second one and your third one. You just pop those off and your door panel is off. Shouldn't need any tools, just use your fingers. Nice long nails, you know. Next, you're going to want to take these speakers off. So you got 4 main screws here. 1, 2, 3, 4. No need to take the other ones off there. Just those 4 main screws. Whoops, dropped one. All right, once you get those screws out, just another little plug here. Go ahead and pop that off. And then the speaker comes right out, pretty easy. These are the new inserts you're gonna be plugging your adapter on. As you can see, it comes with instructions. They're pretty basic, straightforward stuff, pretty easy to do. It did take me a little bit longer to do the first one because I couldn't figure out the bracket. So this will go on top. There is 4 screws there. So you're going to want to go ahead and you put them in there. Put them around each side of the speaker. So the bracket goes behind the speaker itself, and then on top of that, you do attach the little metal nice kicker grate they give you. So what I did here is I kind of just put them in there and got it started so it was all attached. And then once you get those couple screws in, you're going to want to attach your adapter wires. One is bigger than the other, so they are pretty easy to attach to the speaker itself. It did take me a little force to put them on. I was afraid I was going to break the little bracket off on the speaker, but they do go on. You just got to be, kind of careful. Don't be jamming them on there real fast. And then you go ahead and plug that right into the other plug that you unplugged from the speaker earlier. It's pretty straightforward. The hardest part is actually figuring out where all the screws go and then just attempting to put it back into the screws on the door panel itself. But once you get that, the rest of the speakers are pretty straightforward and pretty easy. It's all the same stuff on each door. So then you have 4 screws for the bracket also. And those are going to be the screws that you originally took off the speaker with, the original speaker. So you just pop those back in there, the original screws that is. So the 4 screws that come with the speakers are for the kicker cover. The other 4 screws you will get from the original speaker. And you just put those back in, line it up nice. Make sure on the bottom there is a little notch on the bracket. You want to make sure that little tiny notch is closest to the adapter with all 4 screws lining up, so that way you don't have to try stretching that wire to plug it in. So it all kind of makes sense once you do it once. You don't necessarily have to have the kicker logo nicely on the bottom, but I did try to get it as close to the center bottom as possible. So once you get those screws in, you just tighten everything up. I put in the bracket screws first, tighten those up, and then I go ahead and tighten up the 4 screws that are on the top part of the speaker that go through the bracket. And go ahead and tighten up those 4 accessory screws that go through the speaker into the bracket, so everything's nice and tight. I guess I did it the opposite way. I tightened the brackets at the end, but either or, it's all the same. I'm going to go ahead and just plug the adapter back into the stock adapter speaker wire. Thanks to Crutchfield. They make it real easy. Just snap that right in. You're good to go. Make sure it's pressed in there nice and tight, no loose ends or anything like that. And then what you're going to do is you're going to grab your door panel and basically just go backwards from the first time you took your door panel off. You're going to connect your 2 little white plugs on the bottom there. It's kind of a tight squeeze, but they go in pretty easy. Get those two adapters plugged in. And then lastly, you'll plug in the 2 lever controls for your, I believe it's a door and a lock control. I'm not quite sure. The power windows, I think, are the 2 plugs on the bottom, but the top one, I think, is for the handle and the door, and maybe the lock function, the manual lock function. But either or. Just get all those plugged back in. And then you're going to want to line up the top lip of the door panel inside the door frame itself. As you can see, I'm having a little bit of trouble getting that door handle plugged back on there, but I got it back on. All right, then you go ahead, again, line up that lip. Should slide in there nice. Push it down. And then from that point, just go back around and make sure your little snaps are all snapped back in. Kind of just work in a counterclockwise motion or clockwise. Use your knee if you'd like, or your leg, or you can hammer fist punch it if you want, whatever you want to do. Make sure you get the middle one. There is, I think, a middle one in there. I didn't hear it clip, but it's on there. Good to go. And then lastly, don't forget your little plastic corner piece there up top by your mirror. Just put that just lines up and pops right back in. It's pretty easy. So there's one main metal rod there, and then 2 plastic kind of little clamps. And you just make sure those little clamps are lined up first, then just pop it in. Goes in pretty smooth. And you should hear a snap. And just double check. Make sure everything's snapped in there nice and tight. And the last thing is place that screw back in the door handle area. And once you put that in there, close the little tab if you want to make it nice and neat looking. Just get that right in there. Don't over tighten it because it could strip, and then you're good to go, man. All right. If you guys have any questions or anything, comment. Have a good day. Adios.